Hello!
Hi!
Welcome to Precarious Pixels. As always, I am Tim, and with me is...
Bob.
We're in a different than usual recording location. But we're going to make it through, as we always do. This week, it's been busy for us. We didn't really get a good recording in last week, but we wanted to talk about some stuff we watched and played and saw some crazy demos for. Things that possibly might change future gaming, but we'll see. But
it's
first...
going to change the world, Tim.
It will.
In 2034.
Yes, when everybody has internet speeds that are ridiculous.
Yeah.
But first we're going to talk about a game Bob's been playing called Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Two times.
Two times.
Twice.
That's true. They do die twice, because your character can die twice, and that is the main gameplay element.
Yes.
Yeah, it's FromSoft, so it's my favorite modern developers, I would say.
Yeah.
I do really love Free Radical. They're dead. Not the guys.
But they're the company? What was the last thing they made?
Like Time Splitters 2.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a while ago. Okay.
But FromSoft, they made Sekiro. They're the guys who make Dark Souls and Bloodborne, in case you don't know, and Old Tenchu and Armored Core, you know.
Yeah.
Like classics. But Dark Souls is probably one of the most well-received and, like...
Yeah, well, it's had many sequels at this point.
3. It had 3. If you count the remaster of Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, I guess it had 4 games, but it's really 3 games.
Yeah.
They just changed a lot of elements in 2 when they redid it. But
yes.
Sekiro is a lot different.
Yes, I was gonna say.
Sekiro is like they marketed it as like a one-player only action slasher samurai game
with some weird concepts to it,
with some really cool boss designs, which I will give them. So far, the bosses I've fought are really cool.
Yes.
Not Moonlight Butterfly cool.
Okay.
If you guys play Dark Souls 1, where you fight a giant butterfly that shoots magic crystal beams at you. Which was great.
Yes.
But it is, like, the designs are really cool. The problem I have with it is the combat is, in my opinion, solid, but way too punishing.
Yeah.
And this is from somebody who's played through every one of their games.
Yeah.
To finish, I don't think I've ever said it's way too punishing.
Right. And Dark Souls is definitely one of the most punishing games you'll ever play.
This is worse.
Yeah.
This is worse, because Dark Souls, when you screw up, you know exactly how, you know exactly why, and you know exactly what to do next time, and you'll screw up again.
Right.
Absolutely, the next time. And
right.
you learn. This one, I don't feel that opportunity is there. And
right.
Maybe it is. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, because I haven't played much. But and I played enough so far, in my opinion, to say that when you screw up, you don't see it coming.
Okay.
You don't necessarily know what to do to prevent it, because you screw up once and you're back 12 enemies ago.
Right.
And unless you're sneaking up on everybody,
yeah.
If you're sneaking up on somebody, that actually I think draws a lot away from it as well, because bear with me, sneaking up on people, just like in Tenchu, which is one of the games they worked on,
right,
instant kill.
Yes.
Unless it's a boss, in which case you have to sneak up on them twice, which is impossible.
Right.
However, instant kill, what does it not teach you? Combat.
Right.
Right, so now you just instant kill 12 enemies because you didn't want to deal with losing any possible health with your 1 health refill, or 2, I unlocked the second one, which is not even full health, it's like half health back.
Okay.
And then you're in a position where you're fighting a boss, but you've learned nothing in combat because you're instant killing everybody because you're avoiding combat because it's too difficult.
Right.
So, where are you except for back in the same exact boat with that one boss that instantly kills you with one throw off a cliff consistently.
Nice.
Or one slam into the ground, and then you can res, unless you go off the cliff, which you will learn now. If you go off the cliff, you cannot res.
Oh, really?
Just so you know, back at the, they don't call it a bonfire, but it's a bonfire.
It's not a... We were talking about this before. It's not like a shrine or anything like that.
I don't think it's called a shrine. So, Dark Souls and Demon Souls had bonfires. I think
Right.
Demon Souls was bonfires. Bloodborne had these torches,
Okay.
lamplights, and then this one, it's another light thing that comes out of the ground. It's a bonfire, but they don't call it that because it's published by Activision.
Okay.
And it's a different game. But there are some cool tools. The grappling hook's a lot of fun to mess around with.
Mhm.
Using that in combat is cool. But the combat also has another system which I almost forgot.
Right.
So you got your parries, you got your dodges. You also have a stamina meter, but not like Dark Souls.
Okay.
So in this you can spam, and you don't get punished for spamming. However, if your attack is deflected, or if you get attacked and you deflect,
Right.
that stamina meter builds up. And when it hits the red, you can't do anything for a second.
Oh, okay.
So that's when you find yourself in a position where a regular base level enemy is instantly killing you.
Okay, because you can't defend yourself.
Right, but when you do that to the enemy, who also has a stamina meter that you can see at the top of the screen, it's like...
Right.
When you do that to an enemy, it goes into a kill animation. Unless it's a boss, in which case, again, you have to do it twice.
Okay.
From what I've seen. There might be even more meters on higher level bosses,
Okay.
but the ones I've encountered, twice. So you can stealth them once, and then still be in a position where you get destroyed by half their health.
Okay.
At least, from me. And maybe I'm just bad at it. Maybe I need to get good, as the Dark Souls community would tell me. But, it's rough. It's really difficult. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
The bosses are interesting to look at. The enemies are cool.
Right.
The story so far, we'll see.
What is the story, basically?
You're a samurai and you wake up in a pit. Sound familiar? Dark Souls, Demon Souls, whatever. You wake up in a pit and you go to save your charge. Like the guy you're supposed to be watching over. I don't think they're all in charge, but... And it's a kid.
Okay.
And you're supposed to protect him with your life and do whatever he says. And then you go and you get your sword back.
Mm-hmm.
You immediately fight a boss who kills you, and you're supposed to die.
Oh, okay.
Kind of. He chops your arm off, your left arm.
Yeah.
Which is how you get like a mechanical arm that shoots grappling hooks and whatnot.
Right.
And then you gotta go find him. He's gone. Find him. That's it. That's the story.
That's the story. He's like you're supposed to protect the kid.
He's your master.
He's your master?
Yeah, that's what you call him, master.
Oh, okay.
And this character speaks. Because you don't design your own character in this one.
Oh, okay.
And your character does not have a name. Except for Wolf, or White Wolf, I think they call him.
Oh, okay.
Shadow Wolf. This is people will meet you, you don't say your name.
They don't call you Lone...
They just call you Wolf. No, just Wolf.
Okay. I thought it was a reference to, like, there's a very famous, like, series of books called The Lone Wolf and Cub.
Could be.
Where it's about I think he's, like, an assassin for hire, kind of like samurai.
No, this guy's not that. Although I'm pretty sure your master, the kid, I'm pretty sure he's evil.
Okay.
We'll see. I could be wrong. That's from meeting him twice in the game.
Okay.
I'm like, I already hate him, and I think he's probably a villain.
Alright.
And it would not surprise me for you to be working for the wrong side in a FromSoft game.
Yeah. But so far, you've liked playing it? I mean, has it been...
I've liked it, and then I've gotten mad.
Right.
But I go back, so... Also, oh yeah, I forgot. I didn't go into the really punishing part, did I?
No.
Oh, the game is brutal. So, you kind of, I guess, collect people? I don't know how else to phrase it.
I guess allies that you've saved.
Not even. Like, I went... There's like 3 people in my base right now.
Right.
And there's a 4th lady that I met who I didn't say anything to her, and she gave me like a bell. I don't know what that's about. We'll see.
Okay.
But you meet the one guy who builds your arm, and then he's got a lady outside who's like a nurse, kind of.
Okay.
And then there's a guy who trains with you, and the first thing he does when he meets you, he says something to the effect of, "You look like a great warrior. Let's duel." And then he just straight attacks you.
Okay.
And then you kill him, and he comes back, right in front of you.
Okay.
And he's just like, "Yeah, I can't die either."
Okay.
So I don't know what that's about. We'll see.
He doesn't tell you what the whole thing behind it is?
No, nobody. It's FromSoft. You better learn to interpret.
Yeah. This isn't like you're actually in purgatory or something like that.
You gotta find like 1,000 little items that'll give you lore about certain things, and then you piece it together, or you watch a YouTube video 100 years from now.
When somebody has like gone through and found like every version of it.
Yeah, they've compiled it. Like, it's their thesis. But that's the way it works with the FromSoft game. Sorry for that interruption. So there's this thing where you save people, right, and they come back to your little hub world area.
Right.
And it turns out that if you die a few times, they start to suffer from something called dragon rot, I guess.
Right.
Where they just stop being able to speak.
Which I think is like a weird thing, like, because you would figure that the guy that you would want to talk to with like about the arm thing, because you get upgrades to your arm? Yeah, you get upgrades to the arm, and you find items within the world to get those upgrades. It's not like you can just use XP to do that. Right. You have to find things in the world to get them, and then I don't know, like, I'm sure he can continue to upgrade you, but you have to continue through the story, and but I don't like the fact that I'm immediately punished for a challenging game in such a way that it's going to ruin the story for me. I'd rather it affected anything else. I'd rather it was like Dark Souls 2, where you die a few times and your health drops a percentage. Right. And it punishes you that way, and you can use an item to fix that. This, don't ruin the story for me. Right. Because your game is tough. You made the game tough on purpose. Like, that's what you guys do. I like that about games. Yeah. That you make. But don't make it so it's like so difficult that I can't make any mistakes. Yeah, and don't ruin the other thing that I love about your games. Like, I love the combat. Right. And I love the story. Yeah. And despite the fact that you have to search for it, don't ruin the little bit I get. Exactly. Don't take that away from me. Well, maybe they were thinking, oh, we're making it too easy on these guys. No, they never were. Yeah. They were never. Of course. And there's games there's companies that do it great. Like, they do it great. The guys that made Surge and Lords of the Fallen do it pretty well. Right. Team Ninja. Yes. Let me just tell you about Team Ninja for a second. Okay. They made Neo. Okay. Neo's a fantastic game. Yeah. But Team Ninja with Neo does something that I really don't like, where they make it super cheap at times. Like, Dark Souls doesn't kill you in a way that's cheap. Right. Team Ninja does this thing, or Neo does this thing, we'll put it that way, where you're walking through a cliff, or you're walking a cliffside, and like all of a sudden just bats come out of a cave and they knock you off instantly. Right. There's no skill. It's just bats. And then they do it like 18 more times. Like, out of nowhere, just bats come out of a cave and kill you. Like, they knock you down. Okay. And you gotta walk all the way back, you gotta fight the enemies you fought again. You gotta get back to your, whatever the items were in that weren't souls, but they were basically souls. Yeah. And if you die again, you lose them because the bats are cheap. And that, to me, it's not great enemy design, it's not great combat design, that's just cheap level design. Right. And I don't like that. The thing that made Dark Souls great is it wasn't cheap, it was brutal, but it wasn't cheap. Right. This, verging on cheap. Okay. We'll see. To be continued. Okay. But
I'm more
you have,
interested in those.
but you have like playing it,
Yeah, so far I've liked it, and I've found it difficult, but that's a Souls game.
right?
Even though this isn't technically a Souls game.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. Next week, if I hate the game, then we'll know why.
Okay.
It's because I'm bad at it, apparently.
It robs you of your good story.
It does.
Yeah. All right. So the next thing we want to talk about. So last week was GDC, and at GDC they had, or Google had a big announcement, which they announced their online gaming system, which is basically a cloud system called Stadia.
Yeah.
And they've been working on this.
It's really good in your coffee.
Yes, it's delicious.
It's a great sugar substitute.
So good.
That's stevia? You said?
Stevia, but it's Stadia. But they are pretty much promising something. I don't know if they can entirely deliver. Okay. And basically the thing is that they are promising
They are promising streaming.
Streaming, yeah.
Streaming games.
Yeah. Through their cloud network that will, you don't need any system to play it, just their controller, and you'll be able to play like any game from like Assassin's Creed to, whatever, and just like instantly, like you can go
8K.
and 8K, eventually 8K. But right now they're promising 4K, like full 4K, 60 frames per second, like all that stuff. And I just don't know how they're gonna do it. It's got weird features, like you could be watching like a YouTube live stream, and then click on something and instantly go to that part in a game. Wherever that person is streaming from, if they leave that option open that you could join them, you could just join into their game right at that point. And also, if you're just watching just a game in general, like oh, that looks like an interesting game, I like to play it, you can just click on that YouTube video and like choose to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Because at least that's the one they were showing so far. Whether they're going to have that capability or not, but it seems like they're showing something that like you can go from your laptop to your home system to your phone, and there will be no lag. It goes right into where you were last saved from.
Which I would assume means it's sending a Bluetooth signal from the controller.
Right.
But what's streaming the media? Just their service?
Yeah.
Their service has to be impeccable.
It has to
also,
be.
Your phone,
yeah,
the connection is not going to be strong enough.
Exactly. They're promising anything that you are logged into an internet connection that you can be able to play, and it's because how they have their cloud set up. It is like they've got it. Well, at least what they're promising is their network is so well set up that they can actually it streams perfectly from system to system, from whatever you have.
It takes me 2 hours to install an Xbox game.
Right. And that's another thing. They're promising no load times.
There's
none of that.
No way. This happens this year.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They're launching this year.
There's no way.
It would be amazing if it's true. I would love to see this like technology like take off in a way, but I just don't see it happening. It's just like it seems like there's so many things that you're just like, well, I know how my own internet connection works. I can barely watch Netflix at like full 4K or anything like along those lines.
Yeah, and we're not in the boonies.
Yeah.
Like this is a place where internet connections are solid.
Yeah, but there's pretty much anywhere you can go and get an internet connection.
Yeah, but talk about the people that are in like the middle of nowhere in Mississippi or like Nevada.
Well, you don't even have to go that far. There are places even like in the West Milford. Well, this is just saying for our area, but like outside of like major like groups of people, like those people don't have like great internet connections.
Go to a farm. Yeah. Right? Do you think they're running their great network to some farm?
Yeah. So it confounds me how they're going to do it. They're making very strange promises. They promised another big announcement, I guess, in June. I believe it was June or July. They said that in the summer. I'm trying to think of when E3 is. June.
Usually first or second weekend in June.
So I'm betting they're going to be at E3 with, I'm guessing, more games, because right now all they're showing is the Assassin's Creed stuff, the stuff for Doom Eternal, which they've teamed with id. So,
but that's coming to every console.
Yeah.
So I mean that could be footage from anything.
Exactly.
I also don't know if that's a stable connection, and also if you're devoting the resources to play Doom to one console,
right,
and it's cloud-based, and therefore internet-based, and therefore server-based, at what point does the connection drop from sustainable to non-sustainable? Because if the rumors are true, and this is a cheap-to-free add-on, and all you're paying for is a controller and a service, how much are they spending on these servers?
Exactly.
Because I'm sure Google can afford it.
Oh, yeah.
But are they going to devote that much to it? Is it going to be something they can do?
And honestly, I've seen services that are like there is like rendering services. Like if I was making something like a 3D game or movie or something like that, you can actually, they have a network set up that way. I've seen you can get something rendered in 3D or whatever without having to have a system that can actually run a 3D render a 3D object itself. But just to do to be able to play a game seamlessly, it just doesn't seem like it's going to be there yet.
I say 2034.
And they're promising, multiplayer games with, you play with thousands of people, like no problems, no lag, no nothing.
No lag.
Yeah.
Maybe Tetris.
Yeah. But also they have to understand, they don't have IPs. Like a lot of game companies, that's what they build their stuff on, are IPs.
Just buy one.
Yeah. Well, they could buy one, but I'm just saying, who's going to let one of theirs go?
Just buy a studio.
Yeah.
Just do the Microsoft thing.
Well, they're working with Unreal. I mean, that's their big thing is they're working with Unreal.
Yeah, but they're not going to own... Working with Unreal isn't going to get them where they need to be.
Right.
Because Unreal is Epic.
Yeah.
And Epic has Fortnite money.
Yeah.
And Epic has its Epic Game Store. Now, do we take our Epic Game Store and allow it only to be utilized on this? This is never going to happen.
Yeah.
Because then they need to get everybody they just paid to sign or made these awesome deals with to say, hey, we're only going to let you go on this controller thing.
You're right.
That's probably not going to be as successful as a PlayStation right away.
Right.
And you're not buying games, are you? Are you streaming them? Are you renting them? Are you owning them?
Right, that is the thing.
And it comes down to licensing.
Yeah, because that's another thing that's talked about is a delisted game is the company no longer can put that on their service. You can only get it as a hard copy. If you owned it before, then you could I think Deadpool was one of those games.
Amazing Spider-Man.
Amazing Spider-Man.
Activision doesn't make Spider-Man now.
Right.
Or anything like that. Max Payne.
Yeah.
Rockstar owns Max Payne, but I don't believe they owned... Maybe they did own the first one, but I don't think they did.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see where this is all going to go, because they're promising a lot. They showed some nice stuff. They showed some interesting development tools. The things on the controller seem very interesting with the Bluetooth capabilities. The one thing that was they had two buttons on there. One, you could instantly share your game you're playing as a live stream, as a video, and also you could call for help. Basically, if you're having trouble in the game, there's a Google Assist that can help you. And you just press that, and you don't have to stop playing your game.
Skynet.
Exactly, and just say, hey, I'm having a problem with this part of the game. Is there a video on YouTube or anything of somebody who's been able to beat this, and then instantly being able to like show you that? I mean, it'd be great. I hope it works. I don't think it's going to be as seamless as they make it sound. They want it to sound great, but I think game streaming services could be a cloud-based service, could be coming up, but what they're promising so far ahead of everybody else, I just don't see it being there just yet.
We'll have to see because I still believe that you're going to see a lot more of the next Xbox than the PlayStation 5. I mean, has Sony even officially said that they're doing a PS5 yet?
Yeah.
I know Xbox has said they're doing it, whatever that thing is going to be.
Yeah, whatever the next console is going to be.
Which probably won't have a name for another year and a couple of months.
And then Nintendo, they're still, like, the Switch is still so new.
Well, no, there's rumors now that there's 2 more Switches. That was the big news, not to date this, but today.
Right.
The Wall Street Journal put out a report that there's 2 Switches coming out this summer.
Oh, okay.
Which would be a handheld-only Switch, which renders the name completely useless. Which would be terrible, but I would not be surprised, because then they could improve the battery life.
Okay, all right.
And with their cloud-based save backups, you could buy a second Switch that's just mobile.
Gotcha.
And transfer your saves back and forth, and then you get a 10-hour battery out of something that otherwise does 2.
Okay.
Which is cool, I guess.
Yeah.
And it has to be cheaper. And then there's another one, effectively like a Switch Pro.
Okay.
Which would be 1080p screen, which doesn't really matter that small.
Yeah, that really doesn't make sense.
But with a stronger processor, meaning you could run better games more effectively. Maybe.
Right.
But that would not be a home-only one. Because 1080p screen, so therefore the screen's not there's no point to the screen.
Right. Maybe they're trying to do something like with they have like their DS systems, because their DS systems.
Well, that's what the Switch Basic, whatever you want to call it, would be.
Right.
The downgraded Switch, and then if they could put that out at $150 or $200,
yeah,
it'd sell like hotcakes.
Yeah, they would do well.
Maybe if the battery's good.
Yeah.
But right now, their biggest problem is their battery life. And if they do that, are they downgrading the games that are effectively a downgrade in certain regards? Like Elder Scrolls Skyrim is a great example.
Right.
You can buy Skyrim on anything. They made a joke about it at their last E3 conference.
Okay.
They had Skyrim in a refrigerator.
Okay.
However, Skyrim looks best on a PC.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Looks second best on a PS4 Pro or an Xbox One X.
Right.
100%. It looks as good on a 360 and PS3 as it does on a Switch. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a downgrade. If you have the option to buy all 3, you buy Skyrim on Switch because you want to take it on the go. You don't buy Skyrim on the Switch because you want the best image quality. You don't buy Skyrim on the Switch because you want mods because they're not there. It's not the same game on the other consoles as it is on the Switch.
Right.
If they could do something that makes it the same game as on other consoles, who has the competitive advantage? Nintendo.
Right.
100%. But that is negated immediately by trying to do a basic version. They've shot themselves in the foot, because what developer is going to say, I'm going to put all my assets into this,
right? Because
it's going to be the best on there, when there's another basic version that they have to make, or it has to be able to be downgraded by the hardware, and there's no way that happens. Like, they have to do something.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know. If that rumor's true, that's going to be crazy. But maybe it's cloud-based.
That could be.
Maybe they're ahead of Google. Maybe Nintendo figured it out.
There's talks that they're working on their own network as well. I mean, they're all like kind of trying to develop it in some regards.
But Nintendo would have to be. One of the things I don't think we mentioned yet is you had said that Google was not all across the globe right away.
Yes, it's not going to be. It's just like basically North America, UK, sure, parts of Europe, that kind of thing.
Right, but Japan's Nintendo would have to be Japan first or America first, and either way, it's a bad decision for them.
Right.
Because if they do America first, then they've alienated the country that they reside in.
Right.
As the heads of it. If they do Japan first, they've alienated 90% of their user base, which is not good. Unless they do a test in Japan, and then they have to rely on us having the same internet speeds, which we don't. We have nowhere near it.
Right.
We'll see. I'm not optimistic for that.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see like what's going to come down the line now, and to see like what is the next, because we do have, I mean, internet speeds have improved massively since like, you know, like even like 5 to 10 years ago. It's just gonna, it'll be interesting to see how a lot of streaming services are going forward. Are we going to be like, are they going to all try to get rid of like the console aspect of it and just try to be streaming? I still think some people like, I mean, I think there's too many people that still like the part of like the system that's like they get a physical game. They still like that. They like
I'm
box
one of
art.
those people.
Yeah. And with certain games that you can't get again unless you own it, I think that's gonna, you know, I think that's gonna be there.
I don't think I'll ever want to be the person that buys a game not knowing I own it.
Yeah.
That's just who I am.
Yeah, and you know, if you beat a game in this game you like and you want to go back to it, does that mean that you know, is your stuff saved in the cloud that you can go back to it? It's just, it gets to the point where it's like, how long? If it's going to be saved in there for 5 years, 6 years, for as long as you need it? I don't know.
Can you imagine never being able to play a retro game again?
Yeah, that's, I just don't see that happening. And I'm sure they're going to put like retro games out there on this service. I'm sure.
I'm saying what happens 25 years from now when the stuff on the Stadia,
you're right,
is retro.
True.
You can never go back. And is that a future that you want to live in? It's the same with almost anything. Like, anything moving towards digital only is not necessarily a good thing.
It's true.
Books, where the library is going to be 25 years from now. I mean, this is literally a conversation that happened 10 years ago, right?
Right.
Where the library is going to be, where the bookstore is going to be. And as they get phased out, where does the technology end up? And what happens at a point when that technology disappears or starts to disappear?
And also it's a thing too. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I buy a lot of books. I still like, and I read digital too. I mean, I like that as well. But for some reason, if there's a book I like, I want to own. I don't want to have it downloaded. I want to be able to hold it like physically and like, you know, flip to the pages that I want to see, and like it is kind of like that thing that you're still like, I could even see people who still love the cartridges. I mean, how long did it take them, the DS, to like stop having like a cartridge holder, like the old school ones? Like they had that on like most of their services, like or all their DSs like going forward. Remember they had like the 2? It was like you could have like the cartridge load in, or I forget what the newer, like the smaller one was.
Oh, you're talking about original DS.
Yeah, original DS.
Had and DS Lite, I think.
Yeah.
Had the ability to play Game Boy Advance games as well as DS games. Backwards compatibility.
Backwards compatibility.
I thought you were saying cartridges themselves, because the Switch is a cartridge.
Right.
Those games are...
They're on cartridges, yeah. That's like a thing too. I mean, it's still like that. Nintendo's fan base is kind of like always kind of bent on those, like that standard.
Yeah, the only successful, we'll put it that way, the only successful version they had of a disc-based system. Was super successful. Well, I guess Wii and GameCube.
Yeah, GameCube.
But Wii 100%.
Yeah.
Wii U not so much.
Right.
Back to cartridges with the Switch.
Right.
And I think cartridges are the only real way to function right now with portable.
Right.
Even Sony learned that with the Vita, because the PSP used a disc, kind of.
Kinda.
Universal Media Disc, I think it was called, UMD. But those were in like a casing just so they didn't get scratched on the go.
Exactly. And it was a good way to do that, because then you only had to have the one part exposed where the reader was.
Yeah.
And usually that wasn't going to get too damaged unless you were really like messing with it.
Oh, people could do it.
I've seen it too. But yeah, no, I think people will still want like they don't entirely want to play cloud based, but I can see certain like online like multiplayer games going that way.
That being said, there's advantages to cloud based, and I'll give you the easiest one right now. Imagine just carrying your controller.
Right.
And that's it. You got your whole game library streamed to you.
Exactly. So if you're going on vacation, or if you're going to a friend's house and all you have to bring is your controller with you, like, it would be amazingly helpful to have that, just like that simple thing.
I look forward to it in 2034.
2034 when they...
No, I'm just kidding. That's a pessimistic approach to it. 2024 is when this will function. 5 years from now. We'll see if I'm right.
I'm betting is going to be closer to that. They're thinking like nobody's going to like just I'm just going to chuck out my system now that they've gotten this thing out. There's been no pricing talk. There's been no what is the streaming service going to cost, the controller going to cost, like all this stuff. I'm just like, is it a monthly based thing? Like what is going on? I'm betting it's probably going to be monthly, kind of like Netflix and all that stuff. But like, what is the price?
Oh, you're also gonna have to pay for games.
And what games? Like that's the thing. Is that am I paying for the service and the game? Because then it's just like, what's the point even?
Well, that's like original PlayStation Now. I think that's the way original PlayStation Now worked, where it was a monthly fee.
Right.
And you also had to pay the rent of games.
Right.
No. I'd rather just buy a game. I'd still rather go into a store. Now We'll see what it looks like.
Because you also like even Xbox had that where you had not only pay the game for the game, but you also had to pay for Xbox points or whatever.
No, the Xbox points were for add-ons.
Right.
But that's not the games.
Okay.
That's like if you want to get horse armor for Skyrim.
Gotcha. Horse armor.
Which isn't a thing. Well, no, that was the original joke for Elder Scrolls Oblivion, which was I don't know if it was launch or close to launch on 360.
Yeah.
It was one of the first big DLCs, so you can thank Bethesda for ruining yet another thing.
Yes.
And it was, I think it was $5 or $10. It was some stupid cost, and all it did was it gave you horse armor. Like, you got armor for your horse. Now, here's the thing about Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Your horse doesn't get in fights.
Yeah,
You just ride him around.
It doesn't matter if your horse has armor.
Yeah, there's no reason to have armor, so why did you do this?
Just to say,
why did you charge people?
Just so you could charge them something, get some extra money out of them.
Yeah, or you could just make good DLC, but at the time, nobody knew what that was. Like, they were blazing new trails.
Right.
But this trail was especially a go to heck to the fan base.
Right.
The stupid horse armor, which is why it became a joke. One of the original memes, you might say.
Oh, really? For Skyrim was the horse armor?
Well, not Skyrim.
Oh, the
Oblivion.
Oblivion.
But then they put out this great DLC called the Shivering Isles, which was like a full expansion.
Right.
But they also did Skyrim. Skyrim had great DLC with their vampire DLC. And I forget what it was called. And the best one was the Dragonborn DLC, I think it was called.
Yeah. And that's another thing, like how much is DLC just going to be automatic?
No, it's never going to be automatic.
I just can't see it. And I also see like the problem of like, hey, I want to upgrade my character. Obviously that's going to be another pay. Like, it's just they didn't really come out with like something that said this is this, this is this, this is this. They just kind of came out with something that's like, hey, here's what it could be. This is what you can do with it. The developers can do this, and even like if somebody develops a game for this service, that's going to be years to develop something like that.
Oh yeah, unless they've known about it for years, and I don't think they have.
Yeah, they've said they've talked to some studios, but I can't imagine that they've really had like expansive talks with them about like what this means.
Well, I know they got Jade Raymond, who's like awesome.
Okay.
Ex-Ubisoft app.
Gotcha.
They've got her on board for something.
Yeah, I think I've seen like a couple of things where she's talking about it.
That was the big thing. They announced that 2 weeks ago or last week before this announcement, and then just bam, it's been non-stop focused. That being said, she is a dreamer.
Right.
And a lot of what she dreams doesn't necessarily come true.
Right.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, and no, it's good that they're pushing this, and like you could see like where this is gonna maybe go in the future.
Yeah.
And maybe even this could be integrated with like the headsets and all that kind of stuff. Like you could actually, let's say they hooked it up with Google Glass, if that ever gets really into development. So you would just be like playing, like through your phone or whatever, hook it up to your Google Glass, and it's like projected in front of you. So, you know, in the future you could definitely see like this like stuff like happening. But whether it's going to be as big as they think it is, don't know. I don't think so. But
if anybody can afford to bankroll it, it's them.
Yeah.
I worry about lack of support for things like Twitch.
Yeah.
Because YouTube was big for gaming for a long time.
Right.
Like Twitch is the focus right now, and it should be the focus for them. They can't, right? Because what is YouTube? Who owns them?
Google,
right?
Google
and what do they not own? Twitch.
Exactly.
Amazon owns Twitch. So that's not going to happen.
Right.
And that's already like their biggest asset. They don't have it.
Right.
So we'll see.
Yeah, and Twitch streaming is like for gamers is like a huge thing.
Yeah, not even just gamers.
Not just gamers, like everybody. Art tutorials and like just people like, you know, who go for like live chatting and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. I think probably the next time we'll talk about this is after their big thing in the summer or June, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Probably at E3, and we'll see. Like, I think maybe they're already hearing some criticism that they didn't really have like anything to show. I mean, they showed Assassin's Creed, but we've all seen Assassin's Creed. Show me something I really haven't seen.
It should have been the biggest new game announcement ever. Like,
right.
This should have been the reason Disney's back with Lucasfilm Studios, right? Bam. And then, check it out, here's our Star Wars game.
Right.
Bam. Or, here's our new Indiana Jones game.
Right.
Right? And instead it's, hey guys, it's 6 months ago's Assassin's Creed.
Right. Yeah.
And it's Doom, which already offended people.
Yeah. Like, it's strange that they're like, I'm like, it's not really like a great tech. I mean, it's a good little tech demo, but it's not like you don't have like a fully formed service. It's got to get to that point, and hopefully they'll take those notes from like what people are saying online and being like, okay, this was kind of like their first little unveiling, and then the summer is going to be like, okay, we heard you, and this is what you want to see, so here's what those things actually are going to be. This is how much the service is going to cost. This is the controller is going to cost. This is like, you know, when it's going to be like set up and everything. So going forward, I'd like to see what it goes. A few, as we're wrapping up here, a few things that me and Bob have been waiting for a long time, more than streaming gaming. DeadWood, finally, the rumors are true. The movie is coming out. It's going to be on HBO, of course. And everybody's back. Al Swearingen is going to be, you know, saying the C word a lot.
He does say a lot.
Oh, a lot.
He swears a whole heck of a lot. But that was a phenomenal show. If you guys haven't checked it out, don't watch it with any kids.
Do not watch it with kids.
But check out a show called DeadWood. Ian McShane, Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah.
Ian McShane probably, as Al Swearingen, probably one of the best villains in a show ever.
Ever. I mean...
Between him and Vic Mackey.
Right.
But Vic Mackey's, I guess, anti-hero, not really.
Yeah.
By the end.
He's a hero to me.
So, okay. Well then, you might not remember some of what Vic Mackey did.
I do remember what some of Vic Mackey did. But again, yeah. Yeah, really looking forward to it. The trailer shows, you know, just what you want to see. Al Swearingen standing on a balcony, looking down on the little people, making plans. There's definitely a lot of shooting going on. I can't wait to see like what's going to happen. Looks like everybody's back, or enough of the people that I'm just like, oh, that character and that character and that character. So hopefully, like, you know, going whatever this is going to be, I'm sure they've been waiting to do this for a while.
Oh yeah. And the creator's on board, I know that. So.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't think they would have done it without him.
I don't think they could have.
Yeah. The man literally like dictated scenes from lying on his back. Apparently he was like he hurt himself, so he was just lying on his back telling them, everything that they need to do, and so that just always amazed me. So, and of course, Stranger Things 3 is coming out. Looks like it's going to be kind of like them being teenagers and like getting mall jobs and like stuff like that. It looks good. I mean,
one of them's gonna work for Verizon, advertising Fios.
Yes, no, it's the 80s, so it's probably gonna be yogurt stands and like
TCBY.
Yeah, like those kind of things, like way back in the day that they had. Maybe even video stores.
Yep.
Yeah, but looking forward to it. But we'll catch you up on stuff. I think the next thing that's like coming out, or it is out, and we will probably, one of us will watch it and review it for you. And April 1st, Captain Marvel. Or no, I'm sorry, the other Captain Marvel, Shazam.
Mistakes were made, Tim. Is it April 1st?
I think because it's April Fool's. Shazam.
Okay.
I thought it was.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
I don't know. It's definitely April.
Definitely the first week of April.
Probably. It's probably Thursday is the 1st, is that right?
I think so.
I just know that I think it opens the same day as Pet Sematary.
Okay.
So also super hyped.
Oh yeah, no, that looks good as well. So
I would not want to be buried there.
Sometimes dead is better. I hope they have just like somebody say that at least once in that movie.
It's gonna be John Lithgow.
Yeah.
He's gonna say it.
He's gonna be like, sometimes dead is better.
He's probably not even gonna put on an accent. I don't think he's got to even try anymore.
I bet he will. I bet he's gonna put on some accent. I bet he'll do his Winston Churchill accent from The Crown.
Great.
That's right.
He probably won't.
No, probably not. But yeah, looking forward to that. A couple of TV shows that are going to be starting up. Good Omens, I'm looking forward to. Looks really fun.
When does that start?
I think end of the month.
What's that on?
Amazon.
Oh, okay. So it's not really a TV show.
Oh, it is.
It's a computer show.
No, it is a computer show. How is it a computer show?
What do you watch Amazon on?
Well, I watch everything
on
online.
On a computer.
I watch everything online.
But I'm just saying it's a computer show.
Alright.
It's a streaming show.
Everything is a streaming show. Everything will be a streaming show.
Soon, this computer monitor that we're looking at here will replace TV monitors. Every TV will have touchscreen.
Some already do.
Some do, yeah. That's what I'm saying. And they'll all be computers.
Okay.
You watch. When Google takes over, this Google Glass.
Google Glasses. And
available everywhere.
Stadia and their YouTube. And their Gmail.
That's the...
Hire me, Google. Hire me.
That's the running joke between Tim and I tonight, is that the Google Glass was something that was going to be available widely 4 years ago.
Yes. Oh, even longer. I think it was like 5 years ago now.
The same as the Microsoft Minecraft VR thing.
Oh, yeah.
Showed. I think that was even before Microsoft. It might have been before Microsoft owned Minecraft.
Right. And then they showed something that I was like, that's not possible yet.
Yeah, and the Kinect, Project Milo. If you guys want to watch the best video ever,
you won't let Milo go.
I'm not letting him go. Watch the video from E3, I think it was, where Peter Molyneux, oh God, the legend.
Yes.
The legend of false promises, Peter Molyneux. Watch his Project Milo and watch what the Kinect, for Xbox 360, mind you, was going to do.
Yes.
The Xbox 360.
It was ridiculous. I couldn't believe that they actually, it was like, really? They could do that? Alright, we'll see.
And watch the next thing that was dancing.
Yes.
Watch what it could do, and then watch what it did.
What it actually did.
Watch Project Milo, and then look up Kinect Star Wars gameplay.
Yeah, they were making some false promises there. Oh, man. Oh, so bad.
I mean, he was always optimistic, and that's my problem. Like this Google Stadia is super optimistic. The same thing with the Crackdown 3
Right.
cloud-based destruction. Super optimistic.
Yes.
What it came out as in the game,
Not
so real.
Not so much.
and that's the running thing in the industry that's been around for decades now, called bullshots,
Yes.
where you see actual gameplay versus original gameplay shown off, or actual pictures of the game versus what the game was supposed to look like.
Right.
Watch Dogs. Ubisoft is known for bullshots.
Yes.
Watch Dogs 1, gameplay versus the reveals.
Exactly.
Like they're crazy.
Yes. And honestly, we'll just keep checking it out, and I don't think they can really pull the wool over everybody's eyes, because they're gonna be like, well, we saw you do the video, where's all this stuff that you promised? So going forward, we'll see what all like shakes out to. I'm betting it's not going to be something that's really viable for at least a couple more years.
5.
Probably 5. But maybe a little bit faster. Who knows? It depends on like when everybody else's streaming services kind of catch up to that.
5 years.
Yeah. So as always, you can find us online, Spreaker, Stitcher. You can leave us a review on iTunes. No. You can find me online at Tim Martinek on the Instagrams. You can find Bob.
I'm on Twitter at MARTON_Bob. Martin_Bob.
That's right. And
Oh, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
No, you're good.
And then, as always, hashtag Precarious Pixels, and let us know what you're working on.
Yeah, check out the YouTube channel.
That's right. Oh yeah. Soon Google will shut that down on us.
No, they won't.
Yeah, it'll be like
gonna-
talking bad about Stadia.
You're going to be able to, in the future with Stadia and Google,
Yes.
you're going to be able to listen to us talk about Sekiro, and then you're going to be able to just press a button and play Sekiro and watch your character's friends die.
Yes.
Or rot away.
not talk to you. Not talk to you.
Just not be able to talk anymore.
You'll get the
'Cause
worst
that
ending of all
storyline's
time.
dead.
Yes.
That'll happen in books too.
Why,
Like you'll be on
books?
chapter 3, but you'll have accidentally ripped the page with your finger, and then chapters 4 through 32 are gone. You imagine? And that's my problem with that game.
Yeah.
To wrap it all up.
That's true.
Take that away from me, because I made a mistake. Sorry, game.
You're so upset.
I'm really mad at this. That is a terrible design choice.
It is a bad choice. But we'll
And
talk.
maybe it's meaningless.
It's true. But we'll talk more about that later. But all right, we'll catch you next week. Bye.
Hi, guys.
Bye. To do a little redesigning with us, you can find Bob at Martin MARTON_BOB on Twitter, and you can find me on Instagram at Tim Martinek, all one word, TIMMARTINEC. And you can join in us, have some fun, do your redesigns for this week's redesign. It's a lot of fun for us to do this, but we like to see fresh ideas and fresh artists like doing what they do as well. You can also hashtag it Precarious Pixels, and we'll find it as well.